Hey guys, what's going on? Steven back again. So, another awesome episode last night. Let's go over it. Let's talk about it. So, episode starting with Jon and Sir Davos finally arriving at Dragonstone, meeting up with Tyrion. I gotta say, it was pretty cool seeing Jon and Tyrion meeting up once again. Throwing little digs at each other, Bastard of Winterfell, Imp of Casterly Rock. But you do need to hand it to Sir Davos, though, for keeping his cool, because don't forget, Tyrion and Sir Davos were on opposite sides of Battle of Blackwater Bay, where Tyrion, blew up his fleet and his son as well. So, gotta hand it to him for keeping his cool. And then, of course, we also have one of the dragons doing a flyover, freaking out Jon and Sir Davos, them hitting the deck and everything like that. As you can see, Tyrion helping up Jon looking up at, the dragons as they're flying away. Must have been an amazing sight to see, seeing a dragon for the first time. Then after, we also have Varys meeting up with Melisandre, having a talk and everything like that. Why are you not down there? She's like, well, I did my part. I brought fire and ice together. But other than that, I made some terrible choices. And she says she's going to leave. I believe she's heading to Volantis. And, Varys says, hey, you better not return. And then, of course, she drops the one line that, was very interesting, saying, I will return, dear Spider, one last time. I have to die in this strange country, just like you. So, very interesting right there. I'm not exactly sure what that could mean. I don't know if she's going to come back and try to redeem herself in some way for everything she's done wrong. Maybe some sort of sacrifice during the battle with the White Walkers. I'm not sure, but that's just very interesting that I have to die in this strange country. And then, of course, the second part, just like you. So that is very interesting. I'm not exactly sure what that could mean, but either way, that is very interesting. And, of course, Varys got a little freaked out by that. So then after, of course, we have Jon reaching the throne room and everything like that. And, of course, they have their meeting. This is Daenerys Stormborn, Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and of course on and on and on with like her 100 different names and stuff like that. And then of course you get the funny part with Sir Davos. Yeah, this is Jon. He's king of the north. That's it. So that was pretty funny. And then of course Dany wants him to bend the knee. Jon refuses. And then of course they go back and forth with their whole lineage. Well, Starks were loyal and stuff like that. And then well, my uncle was burned, and stuff like that. So that was very interesting. Then, of course, Jon starts talking about the White Walkers. They really don't understand, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Kind of some sort of strange thing. We don't know what you're talking about. And then, of course, after we have Varys coming in, whispering to Dany, telling about, hey, our fleet got attacked, the Sand Snakes are dead, or 2 of them are dead, 2 of them are captured, Yara's captured and stuff like that, which is very interesting. I wonder how he got this information so quickly. I mean, then again, I don't know how much time has passed between, when Euron attacked to when, Jon meets up with Dany. So, I mean, it could be a matter of days in between, but either way, I thought that was very interesting how he already had that information already. So then of course she invites him to stay and stuff like that. We'll talk later and stuff. So she kind of keeps them, I guess, prisoner kind of, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's see, what else do we have? So much information. Then of course at King's Landing, we got Euron riding in like a boss, riding right up into the throne room and everything like that, leading Alaria Sand and Yara and the other Sand Snake. I can't remember her name. Tyene. There we go. Leading them up, basically presenting them as gifts to Cersei. What was pretty interesting is he only gave the Sand Snakes to Cersei, but he kind of pulled Yara off to the side, so that is very interesting. In my prediction video, I thought he was going to give all 3 to them, and I kind of thought that Cersei was going to give Yara back to Euron, kind of like, well, here's your gift, you kind of want her, so you can have her, I really just want the Sand Snakes. So either way, that was very interesting. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Yara since I don't know, maybe she's just thrown in the dungeon, or Euron's going to take her back somewhere. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But then, of course, Euron's like, well, you know what I want as a gift, and of course Cersei's kind of like, all right, yeah, you'll have whatever you want once the war is over. And then, of course, we have the great, little dialogue between Euron and Jaime. How does she like it? Does she like it gentle? Does she like it rough? Does she like a finger in the butt? And then, of course, seeing Jaime getting all pissed off, and Euron's kind of like, shh, we'll talk later. We'll talk later. That was just funny as all hell, because Jaime was just getting so pissed. I mean, if they could have added cartoon smoke coming out of his ears, they would have. Yep. Then, of course, after, we also had Cersei going down to the dungeon, meeting up with the Sandsakes, and, of course, getting her revenge, or, giving her gift. Basically doing the same thing that Ellaria did to Marcella, kissing her on the lips with poison and stuff like that. So that's what she did to Tyene, forcing Ellaria to have to watch her basically die, however long that may take. I think Qyburn said something like it could take minutes, hours, days, or weeks, depending on the person's I guess resilience to it. So of course now she has the poison. Ellaria is forced to watch it. Of course, they're going to change the torches so that way she doesn't miss any bit of it. So we'll have to see if they go back to that, if we find out what is going to happen to Ellaria, because, she's going to be still alive, unless they do some sort of off-screen death or something like that. But either way, that is where she is right now. So that was very cool. Seeing the her getting her revenge. And then, of course, we are at Winterfell again. Sansa's keeping an eye on things, checking over the food and everything like that. How much do we have? Trying to get as much information. What's the longest winter we've had? In the past 100 years or something like that. And then she's inspecting like the armor, saying, hey, this stuff's gonna freeze. Why doesn't it have leather inside of it? Doing a good job. And then, of course, one of the soldiers comes in and says, hey, someone's at the gates. And then, of course, we finally meet up with Bran, who is kind of like a robot. She's all like, oh my god, Bran, it's you. And then Bran's kind of like, hi. I don't know, he kind of looked a bit like a robot during his scenes and everything like that. So I don't know. And then, of course, those two talked and everything like that. He's kind of trying to explain, he's the three-eyed raven and stuff like that, but it's not quite connecting and everything like that. He's like, it's too much to explain, but I'm a three-eyed raven. He sees things and stuff like that. So that was very very interesting. I did like that scene. And then, of course, at the Citadel, we do have Sam finally curing Ser Jorah. So that was really cool. Ser Jorah is now cured of dragon scale. Yeah, and then, of course, he does get I don't know if you want to really want to call it punished in a way. He's thanked, but he's kind of punished, well, you did put everything in danger. I mean, you could have got contaminated, you could have contaminated everybody else, but then again, well, it's kind of like, how about a thank you? I mean, I found a cure, I know how to cure it now, I know how to cure grayscale, so how about a thank you? I mean, now when you have more people coming, you actually know what you can do with them. So, but either way, his reward for curing grayscale is to go through all these books here and pages and everything like that are falling apart, and basically rewrite them all. Which I'm sure he is going to find some very interesting information, because of course he's going to have to read them as he rewrites them. So who knows what type of information he's going to come across when he is, doing all this work. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I bet he's going to find some sort of information about more information on Jon's parents or lineage. So then, of course, we also have Casterly Rock getting attacked. Dany sending the Unsullied to attack Casterly Rock, and of course, Grey Worm going into the secret sewer system that Tyrion was telling, hey, this is how I bring, whores into my room and stuff like that. I snuck them in through the sewer system and stuff like that. So he tells them about that. So they go in, they infiltrate Casterly Rock and stuff like that. They basically take it over. They thought there was going to be a lot more soldiers than there really was in there. But at the same time, Jaime took out most of his forces and went off to Highgarden. So that was a pretty cool battle scene. It would have been nice to see a little bit more of Casterly Rock, because I hear, Casterly Rock is an amazing castle and everything like that. But, I mean, what can you do? I mean, limited on money and budget and time and stuff like that. But it just would have been nice to see a little bit more of Casterly Rock. Then, of course, as they take over Casterly Rock, Grey Worm's kind of like, I thought there were more. Where are they? And then, of course, turns around, looks at his ships being attacked by Euron. So Euron's basically attacking or wiping out, the Unsullied fleet, or I guess maybe what's left of Dany's fleet. So very interesting. I wonder how they got that information. Again, I'm very curious. Like, how did they know, that the Unsullied were going to be attacking Casterly Rock? So how did they know to send Euron all the way around to Casterly Rock, and also Jaime to withdraw his forces and stuff like that? I mean, it just kind of seems like kind of a coincidence. At the same time, at the time that the Unsullied are attacking Casterly Rock, you pulled most of your forces away and sent them off to Highgarden. So I'm just very curious on how that, how you getting like all this information. It just seems kind of like a coincidence. At the same time the Unsullied attack, Euron is attacking, their fleet, and Jaime also pulled away most of their army out of Casterly Rock. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but that is very interesting. I don't know, guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe someone else is spying on them. Maybe someone is double crossing. I don't know. Or again, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. But then, of course, after that, we also have Highgarden being attacked. So, as you can see, Jaime's forces, as well as Randyll Tarly, are heading up to Highgarden, with the Lannister army, basically laying siege to Highgarden. Again, really didn't see anything of the siege at all. I mean, that kind of stunk, but, again, what can you do? I mean, we only saw basically the aftermath, them piling up, the bodies and stuff like that. Again, it would have been nice to see more of Highgarden, from what I've been hearing, because I've been watching a lot of videos on the different castles and stuff like that. Highgarden is supposedly like one of the most beautiful castles and stuff like that, lush green forests and grass and stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess the way the castle was, I guess it would have been nice to see more of it, but what can you do? But either way, they take over Highgarden and stuff like that. And then, of course, we do have the one and final scene, and that is with Lady Tyrell. Jaime coming in, you lost, your army did fight very well and stuff like that. And, she's all like, well, how are you going to do it? And Jaime's like, well, Cersei had a few ideas. She wanted you flogged and flailed and hanged in King's Landing, but I talked her out of it, and he just pulls out, some of the poison, pours it into the cup of the wine, and, of course she drinks it, and after she drinks it, she basically confesses, saying, well, this is basically what I did to your kid, and I did this to Joffrey too. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting seeing Jaime getting furious with her, like, oh my god, you did this, and after everything we kind of put Tyrion through, we completely, well, not really him, but, the blame was pinned on Tyrion, he basically took the entire blame for poisoning Joffrey. Now it was you who did that. If Tyrion didn't get blamed, who knows what might have happened? Maybe he wouldn't have gone over to Dany. Who knows? We can only guess. In the end, he might have, because he probably would have ended up killing Tywin and, of course, fleeing. So, but either way, very interesting. So, overall, that was a great episode. I can't wait for episode 4. Oh, and of course, the Iron Bank came to visit, because the Iron Bank always gets its money. Some way, somehow, they always get their money. And, Cersei reassures them, hey, they will get paid. Don't back, Dany. She's got an army of savages. You really think they're going to pay you back? So, yeah. Great episode. Can't wait for episode 4. Looks really great. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. If you guys like the channel, feel free to subscribe. Also, follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. And, of course, leave me your thoughts and comments. What do you think about the episode? What did you like? What did you not like? And, other than that, I will have my trailer breakdown video up tomorrow. I will do that video tomorrow. And, yeah, if you guys have any questions or you want me to do like some sort of Q&A video, feel free to leave those questions in the comment section below, and I'll do a video on them. But other than that, again, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. Anyways, more videos are on the way, so I will see you guys next time.